Thank you very much. I am so glad to be here. And this hymn that we just sang, Celebrate Life, that is actually what I was going to talk about today. Celebrate life. And you always think things happened, I wonder why they happen that way. Well, they do happen that way because that's the way it's meant to be. And when we celebrate life, we celebrate the thing that we can do the best with our lives. Our lives mean a great deal to others around us. But until we take control of our lives and decide what we want to do with our life, that makes the difference in how we can help others. Most people, or a lot of people, say, oh, I don't know, I don't know if I want to change because, you know, it'd be different, and I don't know if I can be that different. I don't know if I want to do things that different. And it'd be so difficult. It'd be so difficult for me to change. I'd have to change so many things. And I just don't know if I could do it because it'd be so difficult. And what we need to do then, my friend, is to look at ourselves and say, I can do this. I can do this. I can make this change in my life. And it will be no more difficult than I've decided it will be. For I put the limits on everything that I say, think, and do. I put the limits there myself. So it won't be any more difficult for me to do than for anything else. Then we can think, well, we can say, oh, I don't know, it's kind of risky. It's awful risky for me to make that change. You know, you make a change in your life, it's going to have a risk involved. And I don't know if I want to take that risk. Because that risk might be more than what I could do, more than what I could take. But when we stop and we think about what risk is really involved, well, I believe the risk that's involved would be no more than what we would have anyway. What we want to bring into our lives, we'll bring into our lives with whatever risk it needs. And whatever risk that we want to take. Because we, again, put the limits. We will put the limits on what we can do and what we can't do. We will put the limits on where we want to go and what we want to do in our lives. Any change that I want to make in my life, I can make it because I'm willing to take the difficulty. I'm willing to take the risk. But now, am I willing to do the time? It's going to take time to make these changes. I don't know if I've got time in my life to make these changes or not. After all, I'm getting up there. I might be 40, 50 years old now. I bet I'm at least 30. And I don't know if I have time to take that change and make that change. And then I say to myself, well, you know, I'd like to go back to school. I'd like to go to college. I would really like to go to college, but you're talking about 5 years. And you know how old I'd be when I got out of there? You know how old I would be in 5 years from now? I'd be 35 years old. Well, you know what? 5 years from now, I'm going to be 35 years old, no matter whether I go to college or not. So it doesn't make a difference. Time will not make a difference. What will make the difference is if I make the decision of what I want to do with my life, where I want to place the limits on my life, what I want to decide to do. We also have those things that we call our family. Oh dear, our immediate families. They are so, so close and so demanding. So, I can't do that. My family would have a fit if I did that. Can you believe what my family would think of me if I made that change in my life? And then I would have to say to myself, if I want this change in my life, if I will be a better person for this change in my life. If this change in my life will make me be able to do the things here that I want to do, to accomplish in this life here what I need and want to accomplish, then my family should be all right with it. My family should bless it. My family should go along with it. And for those who in the family really don't want change, because there's always that little grandma back there, I don't want any change, everything has to stay the same. But we know as we grow and as we learn, no matter what age we are, that we must make changes to better ourselves. And that as we make those changes to better ourselves, it's up to us, not our family, not our friends, not those around us, but it's up to us, the change that we make. It's up to us to decide if that change is going to be too difficult or too risky, or it's going to take too much time, or it's going to upset my family too much, or, goodness, if I deserve it. There's always that. Do I really deserve this? Do I really deserve this change? You know, my dad worked for years and years and years, and he never made that much money as what I'm going to go to college, get my degree, and then I'll be able to make. My dad worked for all those years and never made that much money. How can I go and do that? Do I deserve to make that much more? Do I deserve that?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Thank you, Tom. Of course you do. You deserve it because you are you. And because you placed the limit there. There was a Buddhist monk, and he decided that he wanted to help people. He didn't know how he was going to do it, but he wanted to help people. So he went out and he climbed up into a tree, and he stayed in the top of this tree all the time. He sat there in the top of the tree, and he listened to the birds sing, and he thought, and he prayed, and he stayed there on top of that tree. This little village, everybody in the village walked around, walked under the tree. Oh, there's the monk up there. They started calling him the bird nest. Oh, there's the bird nest. Yes, there's the bird nest. And everybody would just walk through town and see him up there. And then finally, he'd been there for quite some time. People started asking him questions. By the way, Mr. Bird Nest, what do you think about? And he'd tell them what he thought, what his answer would be to that. And so more and more and more people started asking him questions, and he would answer. Finally, the highest governor of the land, he said, you know, everybody's going to this guy and asking him all these questions. I think I should go and ask. I think I'll go ask him what he thinks I should do. What he thinks that I should do with the rest of my life. To make it important. To make somebody know that I've been here. So the governor went to the bird nest, and he said, Mr. Bird Nest, I want to ask you a question. And the bird didn't say anything. The monk just sat there, waiting, and he never said anything. And finally, the governor said, I want to ask you a question. And the man in the bird nest just waited. And finally he said, I want to ask you, what do I need to do with the rest of my life? What do I need to do to make this life here the best that it can be? What do I need to do in my life? The monk didn't say anything again, just sat there and in the bird nest, listening to the birds, feeling the sun on him, just listening. And finally he said, I'm going to tell you what you need to do with the rest of your life to make your life worthwhile. And that is, I will tell you, do nothing bad. Do nothing wrong to other people. Do only what you know is best. Do only good. And the governor got kind of angry at that, and he says, well, you know, that's kind of stupid to tell me. Any three-year-old knows that. Well, why would you tell me that? I mean, any 3-year-old knows that you don't do bad things. Any 3-year-old knows that you do good things. And that only the good things that you do in this life are going to really matter to other people. And the monk said, that's right. That's right. A 3-year-old knows it's the best thing to do, but an 80-year-old has a very difficult time doing it. Remember that when you make up your mind to make a change, that the change you make is going to affect you. Remember that the thing that you decide to do is going to be to better you. You know, meditation is the finest gift we've ever been given. For we can go within, and there we can decide what we need for ourselves to better us, so that we can be the best that we can be, so that we can know what a 3-year-old knows, and so that hopefully we will place our limits on ourselves far enough out to enable us to do the things here in this world to help ourselves and to help others. We know that the things that we do here in this earth, the things we do here, are going to affect us in every way. And we know that they're going to affect those around us to a certain degree. Remember always, yes, you do have time, and yes, your family will accept you, and yes, you deserve it. You have the right for whatever it is that you need or want in your life. You deserve to have that. Make your changes to help bring that about in your life. Don't place the limits on yourself, but give yourself a full board to go by. Never limit yourself in any way. For as you go forward, you will find new and more exciting things as you grow and you go forward in this world. You'll find so many things that, oh, I didn't know about this, but now I'm changing my life so that I can incorporate this into my beliefs, so that I can incorporate this into my life. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I know that I can do it. I know that I alone place the limits. And most of all, I know I deserve it. Remember that when you make the changes. Thank you.